3 centre-back alternatives to Harry Maguire that Man United should be pursuing. Before the video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy it. If you could watch this video to the end, that would really help this video's average watch time figure to help the channel grow. And at the end of the video I'll give my verdict on which of these centre-backs Man United should sign. I've also put a quiz question in the comment section below, so go down there and see if you get the answer right. Also put your view on which centre-back Man United should be signing. With reports now suggesting that Leicester want 80 million up front for Harry Maguire instead of the 60 million plus 20 million pound add-ons, it seems that Man United may have to look for alternative centre-backs to bring in this summer. But who should Man United be looking to sign if the Maguire deal falls through? The first name on my list is Benfica's Ruben Dias. Dias is a 22-year-old Portuguese centre-back who established himself on the European football stage after an excellent season for Benfica. Dias is an aerially dominant, hard-tackling, ball-playing defender who has already become Portugal's best centre-back. Dias' best attribute is his tackling. When the opposition attacker is dribbling at the back line, Dias has the concentration, anticipation and technique to be able to step out of the back line and put in a strong tackle to break up the play. He has the composure when in his own box not to dive into a tackle and risk fouling the player or selling himself too easily and instead standing up and wait for the moment to put in the tackle. This is an attribute that Bailly and Smalling do not have, as they are very rash when it comes to one-on-one situations around the box. Dias' one-on-one tackling ability can be seen as he was only dribbled past 0.2 times per game in Liga NOS last season. He's also aerially very good. He's better than Lindelof is in the air as he can win headers in both boxes, which would be a good asset for United to have in their side as they lack aerial ability since the likes of Fellaini and now Lukaku could potentially be leaving. Dias also brings the ball playing ability that United were looking for in someone like Harry Maguire. Dias should be able to play on the right with Lindelof on the left, as Dias is an excellent long passer and will be able to advance the attack to the flanks or over the top of the back line with a long raking pass in a similar way to how Alderweireld does for Spurs. Lindelof doesn't often perform this sort of long pass, instead he's a very good incisive passer, playing balls in between the lines which he'd be able to do from the left hand side and therefore allow Dias' long passing to be more effective on the right. His only significant weakness is his vulnerability to through balls being played in behind him, as he lacks acceleration, which could be a problem if United seek to play a high defensive line. Dias would probably cost Man United between 55 and 60 million pounds, so it would still be a fairly expensive deal, but at 22 Dias would represent excellent value. Toby Alderweireld is a second centre-back alternative that United should be looking at. He has a £25 million release clause, so it would be a cheap option in comparison to his ability. Alderweireld has been one of the standout centre-backs in the Premier League over the past 5 seasons, and is one of the best ball-playing centre-backs in the league alongside Ibrahima Konate. He is a tremendous long passer of the ball, able to start attacks from deep positions, which is something United lack in the centre of defence, with Lindelof more of an incisive passer and Smalling and Bailly pretty woeful on the ball. Alderweireld, like Dias, is composed and patient when in a one-on-one duel, which is seen as he was only dribbled past 0.3 times per game last season. He's a better reader of the game than any of the United centre-backs or Dias. His ability to anticipate through balls and crosses and cut them out before a chance can be created. The one area of his game which isn't as good as the likes of Maguire, Smalling or Dias is his aerial ability. Last season Alderweireld won 53% of his aerial duels, whereas Smalling won 65% of his. Whilst this isn't a massive issue at Tottenham playing alongside Vertonghen, playing alongside Lindelof, who isn't aerially dominant, could cause a problem, particularly when facing sides like Watford or Burnley, who use a direct long ball style of play with a lot of deep crosses. Alderweireld is 30, so would only have 2 to 3 years left in his prime, but would only cost £25 million, which is cheap enough for United to take the gamble, and Alderweireld's long passing, reading of the game and experience is something that is much needed in the United back line. The third option is Ibrahima Konate, RB Leipzig's 20-year-old centre-back. He is a 6'3", quick and physically dominating defender. He's very good in one-on-one situations, which is seen as he was only dribbled past 0.4 times per game last season, showing his ability in one-on-one duels. Konate has a very good reading of the game, which enables him to be a front-foot defender and step out of the back line to make an interception or break up the play. This is seen as Konate made 2.1 interceptions per game in the Bundesliga last season, which was the 7th most of any centre-back in the league. Konate, unlike Alderweireld or Dias, does have the pace to play in a high defensive line, so could be a valuable player to play next to Lindelof, who isn't the best when faced with balls being played in behind him. Konate doesn't have the same ball playing ability as either of the other two in terms of passing, though he is good at being able to powerfully dribble out from the back line into the midfield, which alongside Lindelof's more concise passing ability could work well. Konate can be rash at times and make errors on the ball, which was seen as he was dispossessed 0.4 times per game and had 0.7 unsuccessful touches per game last season, which is a lot higher than Alderweireld, who only had 0.2 unsuccessful touches and wasn't dispossessed at all. Konate would cost around 35 million, he's only 20 so can improve massively and is already good enough to be a starter, so seems to provide the best value for money of the 3 Maguire alternatives. So who out of the three should Manchester United sign? If I was Manchester United, I'd go for Toby Alderweireld. It's because he's the best defender of the three in terms of his tackling, reading of the game and his ball playing ability. He'd bring experience alongside Lindelof and would provide the long range passing ability that United do not currently have in the back line. Konate would be the second best option, as I think he is a better defender than Dias in terms of his reading of the game and pace, which would be crucial when being forced to defend in the channels or in a high line. He'd also cost significantly less than Dias, and I believe he'd turn into a better overall centre-back than the Portuguese. Though I think that at the moment United need a ready-made, top-quality centre-back, and Alderweireld at £25 million seems like a deal that can't be passed up. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and check out the quiz question in the comment section below.